Vulcan Bombers, Farewell, Flight of the Cold War Era, 1953 to 1962. Today, we have something truly special for you as we delve into the fascinating world of aviation history. We're going to explore the iconic Vulcan Bomber's farewell flight, marking the end of an era during the Cold War. So buckle up and let's take a trip down memory lane. Before we dive into the farewell flight, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer magnificence of the Vulcan Bomber. With its delta-wing design and powerful engines, the Vulcan was a symbol of British aviation prowess during the Cold War. Historical context. As we delve deeper into the historical context of the Vulcan Bomber's farewell flight, it's essential to understand the geopolitical landscape of the Cold War era. The Vulcan, designed by the brilliant engineer Roy Chadwick, first took to the skies in the early 1950s, at a time when tensions between NATO and the Warsaw Pact were escalating. The Vulcan bomber emerged as a response to the need for a high-altitude, long-range strategic bomber capable of carrying nuclear payloads. During the Cold War, the world was on edge, and nations were investing heavily in military capabilities to deter potential adversaries. From a technological standpoint, the Vulcan bomber was a marvel of its time. Its delta-wing design, cutting-edge avionics, and advanced engines made it a symbol of innovation. The aircraft's ability to fly at high altitudes and reach impressive speeds made it a formidable force in the strategic balance of power. The farewell announcement. In 1984, the Royal Air Force made a historic announcement. The Vulcan bomber would be retiring from active service. This marked the end of an era and triggered a wave of nostalgia among aviation enthusiasts worldwide. As the Cold War era drew to a close, the Royal Air Force faced the inevitable decision of retiring the Vulcan bomber from active service. The announcement, made in 1984, sent ripples through the aviation community and sparked a mixture of emotions among enthusiasts, veterans, and those who had served alongside this iconic aircraft. As technology advanced, the Vulcan bomber, despite its legendary status, faced challenges in keeping up with the demands of modern warfare. The decision to retire the aircraft wasn't an admission of failure, but a strategic move to embrace newer, more advanced platforms better suited to contemporary defense needs. Strategic Air Command. To truly grasp the significance of the Vulcan bomber's role during the Cold War, we must delve into the heart of its operations, the Royal Air Force's Strategic Air Command. This strategic command was tasked with maintaining a constant airborne deterrent ready to respond to any potential nuclear threat. The Vulcan bomber played a central role in fulfilling this mission. Strategic Deterrence. The Strategic Air Command, often referred to as SAC, was the cornerstone of the United Kingdom's nuclear deterrence strategy. Its primary objective was to maintain a credible and visible presence, showcasing the nation's commitment to respond swiftly and decisively to any aggression. The Vulcan bomber, armed with nuclear payloads, became the embodiment of this deterrent. Constant readiness. During the Cold War, the Vulcan bombers of SAC were on constant standby. They were fueled, armed, and ready to take to the skies at a moment's notice. This constant state of readiness served as a powerful deterrent, sending a clear message to potential adversaries that any hostile action would be met with a swift and overwhelming response. Strategic flexibility. The Vulcan bomber's ability to cover vast distances at high speeds provided the Strategic Air Command with unparalleled strategic flexibility. These aircraft could be deployed to various locations, both near and far, allowing the United Kingdom to project its military power and respond effectively to evolving geopolitical situations. The Cold War may be in the past, but the Strategic Air Command's contributions and the Vulcan's role as a symbol of deterrence remain etched in the collective memory of military and aviation enthusiasts alike. Global reach. Aside from its role in the defense of the United Kingdom, the Vulcan bomber showcased its global reach through long-range deployments and air shows. These missions served not only as a display of military prowess, but also as a diplomatic tool, symbolizing Britain's commitment to global security during a tumultuous period. Changing political landscape. As the Cold War drew to a close, geopolitical dynamics shifted, and the need for massive nuclear arsenals diminished. The Vulcan bomber, once a symbol of deterrence, found itself at a crossroads. The changing political landscape and the emergence of new military strategies signaled the end of an era. Public sentiment. The Vulcan bomber wasn't just a machine of war, it became a cultural icon. The roar of its engines overhead, the sight of its distinctive delta wings, these were familiar elements of the Cold War era. As news of its retirement spread, a wave of nostalgia swept across the nation, marking the end of a chapter in both military and cultural history. Legacy of the Vulcan bomber. The retirement of the Vulcan marked the end of an era, but its legacy lives on in various forms. Following its retirement, concerted efforts were made to preserve the Vulcan bomber for future generations. Several aircraft were meticulously restored and found new homes in aviation museums and heritage centers. These preserved Vulcans stand as living monuments, allowing enthusiasts to marvel at the engineering brilliance of this Cold War relic. The technological innovations pioneered by the Vulcan bomber have had a lasting impact on modern aviation. Lessons learned from its design and operations have contributed to advancements in aerospace engineering, influencing the development of subsequent generations of military and civilian aircraft. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Vulcan bomber's farewell flight and its enduring legacy. If you found this video informative and enjoyable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay passionate about aviation, and remember, the spirit of the Vulcan bomber lives on in the hearts of enthusiasts around the world.